Okay, good afternoon, Charlton.
Afternoon.
Yeah, so it's
Long
been
time
a
no
long
see.
time.
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, so I just wanted to catch up and see how you're doing, how's
Yeah.
business, how's the hotel industry.
Yeah.
We're here at your second Bayfront branch sa
Yes.
capital site. So,
Yes.
what's new?
Well, what's new is that we're happy that the hotel industry is already coming back. So, out of the pandemic, 2 years, 3 years, it's very
Yeah.
difficult for us because travel was at standstill, nobody traveling, and then we have expenses, employees to pay, operating costs, and then so lisod kayo ang pandemic. But very happy that revenge travel is here, so we're quite doing good right now. Both of the hotels are doing good. So Lipay, it's not only me that is Lipay, but I think also other hoteliers are also Lipay.
So, katong pandemic time, how did you cope? Did you have to retrench employees? How did you survive?
Actually,
What
during
were measures you did to really
okay.
like stay?
Actually, during the pandemic, when it started, there were still a few guests left here. So we have to finish them off until they check out. And then suddenly, when it became a little, the situation aggravates, so we have to, actually we really didn't cut our employees intentionally, but some of the employees voluntarily leave because their parents want them home to their place, and then so we have no control over it because it was a pandemic. We cannot enforce them to stay. So, but we really didn't retrench anybody. But I have to admit that a certain number of employees voluntarily leave. So it balances it off. We didn't retrench, but some leave voluntarily because they want to go home, have their family. Kitawag sila naging kanan, then fine.
So now both branches are in full force na.
Yes.
So
We were in full manning right now. Yes.
So busy na sad with events as well.
Yes. Events are back. Events are back.
Okay. So which branch does better?
Actually, it's
And
a
what's the
different
difference?
market.
Which market?
Okay.
What market captures the first branch and this capital branch?
Okay, let's start with the reclamation. Our pilot property is in North Reclamation. Okay, so rooms revenue are okay, events are okay. It's quite busy, Monday till Saturday. But for capital, we've noticed that it's a very strong potential on weekdays. So weekday is also okay. When we opened this property in September of 2021, we only opened 50% of the rooms. Now we already opened 2023, January of 2023, we're fully open, 168 rooms. It's operating full capacity. As for events, we do have many kids party here,
Kids.
rather than on the other side. We're doing good on kids party here because we have smaller function rooms, and then kids party they only go 50 people, 60 people, so it's good.
Okay. That must have been very daring to open during the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to really push through with the second branch?
Yeah, because actually, to be honest, on my situation is that when the pandemic hit 2020, basically we're already 50% at the construction stage, above 50%. Okay, so think it over. Mura siya patay mali ba? Patay mali. So I wanna open, it's wrong. I wanna not open or not open, it's still, I don't know, it's still 50-50. So, but bottom line, I was thinking that
Tiwaso na lang.
we still have to open because the structure is already there. We already have capital expenditure. We have already exposures and everything. So it's better to just finish it off. So we just decided to open.
So it was delayed for how
Yeah.
long? Like how many months na pushback because of the
1
pandemic?
year.
1 year.
Yeah, supposed to be we were targeted to open September of 2020. So we pushed it back 1 year, so it was September of 2021. So 1 year. I think it's a fair delay. a very fair delay.
Okay. For this capital branch, you capture more on locals, or what's the ratio, foreigners and locals?
Actually, Bayfront is really on the domestic market. Our strong point is on the domestic market. So both branches, we still have more, our market segmentation is more on the Filipino market. So still local, domestic tourism. But of course, we do have foreign tourists from foreign countries. Yeah, we still do.
What made you decide to venture into hotel? Because I know your family,
Yes.
the Cokaliong clan, has been around for many years in shipping, in textile. So why did you venture into this? And I understand this is really your project na ikaw yung nagsugod.
Actually, actually, to be honest, if you will ask me right now, if you want to grade myself from 1 to 10, being hotelier, I still have, maybe I still have a score of 5. I cannot reach above 5 my score because I'm still considered immature in this business, despite
That's how you would rate yourself.
I
So
would
you're
rate
very
myself,
self-critical.
yes. Yeah, I would rate myself still on a 50% because my strong point really was on retail trade, textile retail trade. That's my strong point, even up to now. So what made me decide to open the hotel business is I really like the hotel. I really like the hotel business. Before, when I was still in managing our textile business, when I take a look at hotels, I travel around. You know, we often meet in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, we often meet in Hong Kong before. So tanaw ko na malingaw man ko. I know I enjoy the operation, how does it goes, left and right. So I was really curious. Then I did a little research here and there. I said, okay, this business is quite good. So why not diversify a little bit, try. Then my mother supported me. Then he said, okay, sige, gusto ka, sway. Gusto ka, sway, sige.
So you got full support from your family.
I got full support from my mom, and then I also got full support from my eldest brother. Both of them supported
Chester.
me. Yes,
Okay.
supported me.
All right. Sige. But going back to your earlier roots, you were a graduate of accounting, but
actually, I graduated. I'm from a Chinese school. I graduated Cebu Eastern College High School and elementary. Then I'm a certified public accountant by profession. But
so numbers guy ka.
yeah, I'm a numbers guy. So I'm but why I am a numbers guy because
gamit
I
kayo
really
sa negosyo.
Yeah, but you know why I choose numbers rather than other thing else because I don't like to read. I hate reading before, but now I'm used to reading now. Before I hate reading, so I said, pwede pa ko mo-compute o sa karim na worksheet. Ay lang ko babasag o sa karim na libro. That was my theory before. So I didn't, wala ko ng bahay. So it turned out that studying accountancy, I learned well. I also learned a lot. So I applied what I learned, plus with common sense. So it helps me a lot.
So I imagine you act as CFO also.
Yeah.
Which is very critical for business.
I act as CFO, and then not only as CFO, I act as secretary of everybody.
Okay. Would you describe yourself as a micromanager, nitty-gritty guy, or macro, like oversee the big picture, or a bit of both? No, mix.
I'm a bit of both. I'm a bit micro. It depends upon the situation. There are situations that I want to know everything. There are certain situations that I learn how to let go.
Delegate.
And then there are also things that I learn to keep a blind eye on it. Because if I don't keep a blind eye on it, usay masapot ka in the middle of the night. You keep on, masuko ka because things doesn't go your way or...
you have fixations. No?
Yeah, so
usay magtukar ang OC. Things have to go a certain way.
You want to be perfect, so sometimes you want to do it by yourself, but unfortunately, in the hotel business, there are many departments. You really cannot do it by yourself. You need to rely on people to help you do it. So that's one thing. It's not really a simple buy and sell that you can do everything by yourself. So that's a difference.
What's the most challenging aspect of running a hotel?
Challenging aspect for me is about, unfortunately, I would say manpower, because
Quality of the people, you mean? or
It's not really quality of the people for me, but it's really uh, maybe a mixed match because unlike or mixed match or maybe they lack passion about it because unlike before the pandemic we have many good hoteliers, good people. I can say really good. I met many of them, good hoteliers, passionate people. But now, I may say that not all those who graduated HRM right now, I'm not saying all, I'm not saying all, but a number of them really don't know what they want. I don't know if it is they just take up HRM, they just be a hotelier by force, by chance, or I don't know.
napugos ra.
Napugos
Like
ra,
it's really
because-
not their
yeah,
passion.
because when I interview people, I always ask them, you graduated HRM management, hotel and resort management. Yes, your first job was on a BPO. I said, why that? Dako mang sweldo, sir. Or ganahan ko gabi, sir. Or akong boyfriend, akong girlfriend, kuyog magud mi, sir. For many instances, I always encounter that. So I would say that you're really not passionate about taking the hospitality course, really, right? Because if you're really passionate about it, after you graduate, you would run into immediately to work in a hotel, in an airline, in a
Mailhan, no? If napugos ra.
Mailhan siya. So mura sila napugos. But I hope they really be passionate about it, and they should know that what do they really like. Because if you work in a hotel, it's a 24/7 job. So they need to be passionate about it. If they're not really willing to work a 24/7 job, or then I think they should not be a hotelier at all for me.
So how do you ensure na standards are maintained, quality is up there,
Yeah.
food is
Yeah.
of course exquisite?
Yeah, one thing about our niche market, because one thing about Bayfront, you asked me a while ago that what's our target market, right? So I don't know what was your question, was target market, or you asked me something a while ago. We are really positioned for a mid-scale. So
Mid-scale.
mid-scale is not really difficult to achieve, right? So it's not that much criteria. So for a mid-scale, I think we can pass with flying colors. So to ensure how standards are met is that we have to make sure that we have a checklist man na the checklist na mao ni mo buhaton. So it's the responsibility of each people assigned per department to complete those checklists. So kung dili kayo sila maka-complete og checklist, means to say they fail. Na atay in evaluation hagbong sila. Hagbong gud sila because our managers, we have good managers here. So musuroy sila, tan-aw sila, dili mao. So their attention will be called for.
Okay. Pero what was the inspiration behind the concept of Bayfront? And why the name Bayfront? And I see it's very modern, no? The look.
Actually, before when I told you I was studying around. I was studying before I opened the first Bayfront. I studied around.
How long did you study?
4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, around not less than 3
Where?
years.
Abroad?
No, I really didn't study. I'm more on an observation. I told you I don't like to read, so I really don't study.
So you went around.
I went
observed.
around, take a look, and then if you notice, no two hotels will be the same. Even on our third, I mean, by the way, we're also on the drawing board for a new property.
No, so more expansion.
Projects. But
projects.
hopefully, if I hope there will be no more crisis, no more pandemic, but hopefully, if everything goes on, we are already in the planning stage for the third property. But if you will notice, no three properties will be the same. So at least there will be differentiation. Because if you notice some foreign brands, they came in, they are similar look. You know, and you go to Europe, I think there are also a couple of chain hotels here in the Philippines that pareho tanan, that's their concept. So dapat you have this color scheme, you like that. But I don't want to do that because it's a little bit boring, you know. So at least you go to a Bayfront here, you go to a Bayfront there. The interiors are not the same. The interiors are not the same. The concept of the design is not the same. So it will be a little bit playful. You know? So,
There are variations.
Yeah. So lahi siya. Dili siya boring ba? Say boring mo kay good parihatanan ba? You see one, you see
to
all.
add some variety,
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it more enticing. of
Enticing
course.
for guests to take a look at. Try
Alright.
sila.